Good morning. My name is Michael R. Roser, and I am co-founder of Strategic Life Coaching, LLC. Please visit us at abundantlifeslc.com. This morning, I wanted to talk a little bit about weeding the garden, and it's springtime for me, and I love to get out and get in the soil and start to recapture, I guess, what's been wind blown all winter, and the dandelions and the weeds starting to grow in not only my gardens but in my yard as well. But the thought came to me that these days, living a spiritual life, I'm trying to weed another garden, and that garden is me and what I call my character defects. And I believe that those have to be maintained and those have to be guarded at all times. And for me, it's a little bit, I guess, deeper in that, when weeds come up, you can see them on the surface, and you can see, obviously, as they're flowering. The problem is that in the case of a dandelion, it comes up white, and as the wind blows, that dandelion spreads those seeds all over your yard. And so if you're not being very careful about it, they can spread to your neighbor and spread to other people in your life. So what are those character defects? Well, for me, it's anger and it's fear, not feeling not worthy, and building up resentments from past angers and reliving them each day. And I found that those have to be taken out root and all. And for me, I needed a power greater than myself to help me with this process. It was more than just spreading a bunch of fertilizer, because for me, those defects come back unless I get them at their root. And the root cause for me is when I start to get into pride and when I start to get into my ego, which for me, ego stands these days for easing God out. So as I've done a lot of self-reflection in my life, getting in touch with those defects and getting in touch with why I'm angry and why I'm resentful at people, I was able to begin to start to take those weeds one at a time out with their entire root. And I found that that process is wonderful because you can see the benefits of it immediately. And unfortunately, as time goes on, those weeds have to be maintained because winters do come along, falls do come along. And so the leaves have to be cleaned up, they have to be organized, they have to be put away, and frankly, they have to be burned. And so what I'm trying to do each day is to get up and honestly take a look at the progress that I'm making on my garden and on my yard. And if there are weeds in it, and those are caused by my defects, then I need to get to work on those and pull those things out each and every day. The benefit of doing that for me is that I can see the progress that it's making inside of me. And what's coming out now is much more peaceful, much more ease. I'm much more compassionate and I'm much more tolerant because going back to the metaphor of the dandelion, it never occurred to me that my problems and my character defects were having an effect on others. As the winds of my anger and my fury were blowing those seeds, they were landing on people that I loved and landing on them close, and they had to deal with those. And so if I can keep my garden and keep my yard free of those weeds, then I'm not blowing my troubles onto somebody else. And so now I feel very accountable and responsible to trying to be the best person that I can be every day and not spread my, whatever you want to call it, my defects onto the people that I love. Hopefully that's helpful. I'll talk to you again soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.